Good afternoon to one and all. Last class we have seen that the hydrograph and the flow duration curve. On that we have taken the two numericals, how to draw the hydrograph and flow duration curve from the given data. Uh, Today we will move in the syllabus base load power plant. So first of all we have to take the introductory part of the base load power plant. While studying the load curve, we have seen that the various parts or various uh, structural parts of the load curve. So today we will study the what is meant by the base load power plant, what are the various um, factors which will decides the which is the power plant going to work as a base load power plant. So baseload power plant is nothing but the power plant which will operates on the base portion of the load curve. So baseload power plant is power station that usually provides the continuous supply of electricity throughout the year. Means what? The power plant it should or it must provide the power throughout the year with some minimum power generation requirement. Baseload power plant will only be turned off for the periodic maintenance purpose or some upgradation or overall services. For this one, we have to switch off the power plant or shut down the power plant. So the base load on a grid is the minimum level of demand on a grid on a electrical grid over a span of time. So as we know that what is meant by the actual meaning of the base load. So once again it is what? It is the minimum level of demand in the sense load demand on a electrical grid. So we have to remember this one. Okay, so base load it is the minimum level of load on the power grid. Okay, so this demand can be met by unvarying power plants. Means what? Those power plant having their constant power generation. Such a type of power plant may be used as a base load power plant. Okay, uh, so this power plant must have the high reliability. I think this part is also we have discussed, but on that day we have got the so much interruption. So today I will once again repeating that one only. Okay. So the power plant which is going to operate as a baseload power plant, which should have the maximum uh, sorry, it should have the minimum power generation, but the unvarying power should be there, and it should be a higher reliable. Okay, and also uh, these are the various power plants which will operate on the base portion of the power plant, base portion of the load curve. That is what the hydropower plant, nuclear, and the thermal power plant. These are the examples for the uh, base load power plant. And also we have to consider the another factor, that is what the power output. It should not be quickly change in the power output of that particular power plant, because this power plant we are going to use as a base load power plant. Okay, so such a large coal or nuclear power plant are generally called as a base load power plant. Okay, so see over here, these are the various factors which will going to decide the uh, which type of power plant may be used as a base load power plant. So I will summarize it once again. It should have unvarying power output supply. It should be highly reliable. Okay, and it should not changes their power output quickly. Okay, whenever there is any fault or any uh, problems in the system, at that condition baseload power plant should not change their power output quickly, because of base load on the system is nothing but the constant load or continuous load coming on the power plant. So the base load power plant or the power plant which is works for the base portion of the load core, it should not changes their power output quickly. So these are the various factors which will going to decide our power plant is used, whether it can be used as a base load power plant or not. Okay, so large coal power plant or a nuclear power plant are generally used as a base load power plant. Okay, so we will see in next slide. I think this one is also we have seen that. So see over here, this is our standard hydrograph, sorry, load curve, and it is we can say that it is a daily load curve. Okay. So see over here, this is the base portion. This is what the base portion of the load means what from 0 to this much. This is nothing but our base load, which is measured in either kilowatt, megawatt. We can say that. Okay, so our power plant should meet this much amount of load throughout their operation. Okay, so namely the hydropower plant, thermal, nuclear power plant are generally used as the uh, base load power plant. Such a type of power plant should have high efficiency as well as they should possess a highly reliable system. Okay, means what indirectly this power plant should is higher reliability, should have high reliability. Okay, so for our convenience I have shown over here load curve once again. So see over here, 0 to this much portion is representing the base load coming on the station, which is measured in either kilowatt or megawatt. So remember this point, the power plant which will going to supply the base portion of the load curve is nothing but the base load power plant. Okay, so first example of the base load power plant we will going to study in detail, means what their layout diagram, their site selection, and their various electrical constituents and the structural constituents we have to study. So we will move in next slide, that is what we will start with hydropower plant. Okay, so this is the one of the base load power plant. So see over here, introduction for the hydropower plant. It is a generating station which is generally utilizes the potential energy of the water stored at a high head. Okay, stored at high head for generation of electrical energy is known as hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so potential energy of water which is stored at a high head or high level, we can say that it may be, oh, sorry, it is used as a electrical for production of electrical energy. Okay, generally it is located in hill area because of high head, natural high head will be available in hilly area only. Okay, so it is generally located in hilly area. Okay, a high head can be obtained by constructing a dam across a river or a lake. Okay, um, high head means what? It is the total water column available inside the water reservoir. Okay, so while studying hydrology, we have seen that what is the significance of hydrology, or from the hydrology, we will come to know how much amount of water is stored inside that one. Okay, by studying the hydrograph, we will come to know the what is discharge for the particular time period. Okay, so while constructing the dam, we have to consider the flow duration curve also. Okay, so generally, in order to obtain the high head for the storage of water, uh, for the getting the potential energy by the water, so that type of dam is constructed at high level. Okay, at a high head. Okay, okay. From the dam, water can be led to a turbine. The water turbine captures the energy in the falling water. Okay, falling water, and changes the hydraulic energy of the water into a mechanical energy at the turbine shaft. Okay, hydraulic energy of the water, especially falling water, it is converted into a mechanical energy by using the turbines. In next, or we will see in further slides what are the what is mean by the turbine, what are their types, and how their efficiency is different. Okay, which type of turbine is used for the which type of head, or which type of turbine is used for which type of hydroelectric power plant. Okay, we will see in detail in furthermore next slides. Okay, so the turbine drives the alternator which will convert the mechanical energy into a electrical energy. Okay, so this is the basic introduction of the hydroelectric power plant. So see over here, we have to point to note that hydroelectric power plant utilizes the hydraulic energy of the water, which is stored at a high level, or we can say that at head. Yes, yes, anybody want to tell something? Yes, yes, who is that? Shubham Kate, please mute yourself. Shubham Kate, because of your noise, our class is disturbing. Okay. Shubham Kate, please mute yourself. Shubham Kate, mute yourself. So we will see in next slide. So site selection for the hydroelectric power plant. So tell me what is the need of site selection? Anybody tell me what is the need of site selection? Yes, anyone? Anyone can tell me? Yes. Am I audible? One and all, I am asking, am I audible? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what is the site selection for hydroelectric power plant, or what is the need of site selection? So tell me.
All requirements are fulfilled.
Okay, in order to fulfill the requirements, okay, so tell me what are the requirements for the hydroelectric power plant? What are
large amount of the water is required and fill station are required.
Water storage.
okay, only one person at time you have to tell me, anyone of you? Yes, tell me what are the requirements to fulfill while installing the hydroelectric power plant? Yes, anyone? I think two people are talking at a time, that's why I'm not getting. Yes. Shubham Kate, please mute yourself. Yes, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, continue. What are the requirement has to fulfill while installing the hydroelectric power plant? In the introductory part, we have seen that. Okay, so tell me.
Large amount of water storage is required. Area free from earthquake.
Yes, yes. Another one, correct one. Very good. If you know what are the requirements that should be fulfilled by our hydroelectric power plant, that only our site selection process. Okay, so we will see over here. First one, availability of water. So tell me how you will come to know the availability of water in the particular area. So tell me. I'm asking question because of we have seen or we have studied various parameters that will going to decide the availability of water in a particular area. Yes or no? We have studied or not? Yes. Have you studied?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So tell me, how you will going to decide the availability of water? Yes, tell me. While studying the hydrology, hydrograph, and flow duration curve, I have so many times I have told you, because of this, hydrology plays a very important role while site selection for the hydroelectric power plant. Yes or no? So revise that one, or memorize that one once again. What factors going to decide the availability of water? Tell me. We know that hydrograph and flow duration curve, if we draw for the so many years before the actual construction of the hydroelectric power in the particular location or the site, you will come to know how much amount of water will be available during the rainy season or during the throughout the year. So availability of water will be come to know by studying the hydrology of that particular area for from the long time ago. Okay, we can say that 10 to 15 years ago we have to study the hydrological study of that particular area. Okay, so availability of water is very important. Run of data from many years available. Okay, run of data means what? After the rainfall, water will be spread or flow on the earth surface or okay. So the runoff is nothing but what? The flow of earth, flow of water after the rain on the earth surface. That is nothing but the runoff. Okay. So from the runoff data from many years, we can be decide the what amount of water will be available, okay, in that particular area. So water storage, this is the next requirement. So availability of water throughout the year, that should be also effect on the site selection. Okay, water storage is very important. Okay, because of hydrological energy of the water, which is converted into the mechanical energy at turbine, and turbine is coupled with generator or alternator, or we can say that induction generator. Okay, so it will be convert a mechanical energy into electrical energy. So water storage is very important. Okay, next part, head of water. If you have the plenty amount of water without any head, means what? Like in a river, we know that in a river the water is available in plenty amount, but its a head or its effective head is very less. So the potential energy, while the introduction of the hydroelectric power plant, we have seen that potential energy of the water which is stored at a high level is converted into hydraulic energy. Okay, falling water hydraulic energy. So head of water is very important, or most economic head should be available. Okay, so head of water, it will plays the role in store the potential energy in the water. Okay, as we know that potential energy PE equal to what? mgh. Yes or no? M is nothing but the mass of the particular object. G is nothing but the gravitational constant, and H is nothing but what? It is the height of that particular object from the sea shore or sea level. Yes or no? So this is what? The potential energy. Formula for the potential energy from the physics is what? PE is equal to mgh. Okay. So H is nothing but head of water. Head of water. Okay. So that should be also important, or most economic part is the while site selection. Okay. So geological investigation, strong foundation and earthquake frequency should be less. Okay. Geological investigation means what? While constructing the dam, we have to take the strong foundation, as well as we have to take the survey for the earthquake. Okay. Um, our dam should not be in earthquake prone sector. Okay, our dam should be located where the earthquake frequency is minimum, or we can say that very less or negligible. So why? Because of earthquake, it will damage the dam, or dam wall will be broken during the earthquake. So the storage of water will be left out. Okay, So the earthquake frequency should be minimum, or that type of survey should be done by of that particular site where we have to construct the hydroelectric dam or hydrological dam. Okay, so this point we have to also consider geological investigation. Next, water pollution. Water pollution also important. We have to consider by site selection. Why? Because means what? Excessive corrosion and damage to a metallic structure. As we know that water with the dissolved salts and dissolved gases and various suspended impurities are there in the water. Especially it is a flood water means what? It having the so much dissolved impurities are there. Some suspended impurities are there. Some salts also dissolved inside the water. So as we know that if you studied in 12th standard means what? The chemical composition of the water, it will greatly increases the rate of corrosion reaction on the metallic part. Yes or no? So excessive corrosion will caused by the salty water or saline water. Okay. So excessive corrosion is for the, or it will damages to the metallic structure of the hydroelectric power plant. So water pollution that should be studied before the installing the hydroelectric power plant in the particular site. Okay, so I think all these points you have come to know what is their important role while uh, site selection for the hydroelectric power plant. Anybody having the doubt? Yes, tell me. Yes. Yes, any one of you having any problem? Yes. Anyone?
No, sir.
All these points are clear now? Yes. Okay. We will move in the next. Yes, all these are the factors that must be considered while site selection of for the hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so we will move in the next slide. The layout diagram for the hydroelectric power plant. Okay, this is the layout diagram, or we can say that the general diagram for the hydroelectric power plant. So see over here, the reservoir. Reservoir means what? Actually, tell me, anyone? Reservoir.
Storage. Storage.
Storage of
Storage
water.
of water.
Yes, it is a storage. Okay. So reservoir, it will going to store the water at a high head, or we can say that economic level of head. Okay. So this hydrological structure is there, this one. Then tunnel. Tunnel is what? It may be
Path of water.
yes, a tunnel, it is what? It may be a cement concrete channel, or it may be a metallic channel which will going to transfer, or we can say that to transport the water from the reservoir up to the penstock. Okay, so this one is the what? Surge tank. Okay, surge tank. Then this one is what? Penstock. Penstock, it is also a cement concrete channel, or we can say that sometimes it may be a metallic structure. Okay, it may be a metallic pipe, or it may be a cement concrete pipe. Okay, so this penstock, it will going to also transport the water up to a turbine. Okay, penstock, it will going to transport the water from the tunnel to penstock. Okay, so see over here, this is the surge tank. We will see what is the exact role of this surge tank. Okay, so after the turbine, there is a gate, or we can say that control valve is there. This control valve going to control the flow, liquid flow, or we can say that water flow which is falling on the turbine, or falling on the hydraulic turbine or hydro turbine. Okay, This is the hydro turbine part. We will see the various types of the hydro turbine. Okay, in next slide or furthermore slides we will see what are the various types of the hydro turbine. Okay, this hydro turbine is coupled with generator. Especially in hydroelectric power plant, we have to use the synchronous generator, or sometimes if there is a speed variation means what can use over here an induction generator. Okay, but sometimes, or we can say that in general, the generator or alternator is what? Synchronous generator. We have to use over here. Okay, this is this may ask in our state PSUs. Okay, what type of generator is used in hydroelectric power plant? Okay, it may be a synchronous generator or alternator or turbo generator. Okay, so this one is what? The hydro turbine, which is coupled with the generator. Okay, and this one is a part of tail race. Tail race means what? The flow of water from the hydro turbine to the river, or we can say that from this outlet the water will be going inside the river, or we can say that sometimes it will be going inside the spillway. Spillway म्हणजे माहिती आहे का? Yes, tell me, anybody? This
पाण्याचा झरा.
yes, tell me. Spillway.
पाणी वाहून जाण्यासाठी असणारी जागा.
हा, येस. स्पिलवे म्हणजे आपण मराठवाड्यामध्ये त्याला सांडवा वगैरे म्हणतात बघा. डामच्या शेजारी जो असतो, म्हणजे ओव्हरफ्लो झाल्यानंतर
येस सर.
पाणी निघून जातं, त्याला आपण सांडवा वगैरे असं म्हणतो, किंवा स्पिलवे म्हणायचं. ठीक आहे, ते स्पिलवे मध्ये पाणी जातं, इकडे रिव्हर मध्ये जातं किंवा स्पिलवे मध्ये जातं. ठीक आहे, तर आपल्याला पाहिजे बघा सर्ज टँकचा हा रोल काय आहे. व्हॉट इज द रोल ऑफ द सर्ज टँक? ओके, draw the layout diagram and then explain the layout diagram of the hydroelectric power plant. They will ask you. So while writing that question, we have to remember. Okay,
Sir.
so, yes, tell me.
Hello sir.
Yes, tell me.
Now you think that they are on the generator sides some ते यूज करतात की ते काय तर पाणी कमी जास्त होण्यासाठी ऑटोमॅटिक लोड नुसार, त्याला काय म्हणतात तो?
Actually that is the function of the surge tank, but now
सर्ज टँक नाही सर.
yes,
ते आता नाव यूज करतात ते जस्ट 2 or 3 years ago आलंय ते. लोड नुसार ते फक्त पाणी कमी जास्त होतं त्या ह्याच्यावरनं नोझल मधूनच.
yes,
त्याला काय तर गव्हर्नरला म्हणतात का?
water governing system म्हणतात.
दुसरं काय शब्द आहे
Yes,
त्याला?
listen me. This is the
हा,
advanced this is the advanced water governing system or water control system. It is basically operates with the PLCs and the SCADA system. Okay, so this is the automation part. Okay, this is implemented before, I think 3-4 years ago only. Yes or no? So the water governing system, its transfer function is calculated, and it is implemented in the our PLC and SCADA system. Okay, this is also possible. And the surge tank over here, surge tank also plays very important role. Whenever it will come to picture, whenever there is a reverse bounce of water or a liquid from this turbine gate towards the backward. Okay, so see over here, this is the turbine gate. If the turbine gate is closed for the purpose of various maintenance which has been taking place inside
Sir.
the
सर
substation.
डायग्राम दिसत
Yes.
नाही. डायग्राम दिसत नाही.
Wait, I think this is problem because of, I will share once again it. Yes, now it is visible. Yes.
हा सर. येस.
Only 2 minutes are left for our timing. So once again, we have to join fastly. Okay. So see over here, surge tank, it will play important role. Whenever the turbine gate is closed, means what? Water will rebound from this turbine gate, and it will create the pressure on the penstock valve. Okay. Penstock valve वरती काय करेल ते, आपण turbine gate बंद केल्यानंतर ही जी penstock वरती water काय करेल, pressure create करेल का? कारण इथं पर्यंत आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो, वाटर, इकडे बॅक साईडला प्रेशर क्रिएट करायला लागेल. ओके, सो हे रिझर्वायर तर खूप हाय हेड वरती आहे, मग वॉटर तिथपर्यंत बॅक साईडला जाऊ शकत नाही. तर काय करतं मग ते पाणी, ते वॉटर जे आहे ते या सर्ज टँक मध्ये जातं, बरोबर. आणि जेव्हा केव्हा मग आपण तेव्हा टर्बाईन गेट ओपन करू त्यावेळेस वॉटर काय होईल, या सर्ज टँक मधून खाली जाईल. तर त्याला आपण स्पेशली एक टर्मिनॉलॉजी यूज करतो इन ऑर्डर टू रिड्यूस द वॉटर हॅमरिंग इफेक्ट that surge tank is used. Okay, answer for the why we are going to using the surge tank means what, to reduce the water hammering effect. Okay, so to reduce the water hammering effect is nothing but what, whenever there is a turbine gate is closed, water inside the penstock creates the pressure on the walls of the penstock. It may chance to damage the penstock wall. So avoid that one. One additional structure is provided at the penstock top in order to occupy the rebounds water from the penstock in backward. Okay, so this is the function of the surge tank. So below diagram is also a same, but it showing the animated representation. Okay, this one is what the reservoir, dam, control gate. Control gate is also provided inside the dam or at the starting point of the penstock. Okay, so see over here, this is what the turbine structure, generator, powerhouse, and then transformer, and this is actually a river or the part of the tail race. Okay, we have to remember this point. So almost our time is over now. So join it once whenever you get disconnected. Okay, so see over here, this reservoir which going to store the water at a high level or at a high head. Okay, so this generator, this is the part of turbine. So we will see in the